Welcome back to Game 5 of the MSL, Leta versus Luxery. We have come full circle back down to this. 2-2. This is it. This is who goes to the round of 4. Honestly, Leta and Luxery, neither of them have won a title before. I consider both of them to be underdogs, even if they are both skilled players. And I'm happy to see either of them go forward. But we are back on Neo Harmony again, which is where was Game 1, where Leta beat Luxery with a great and unexpected group of Ro8s in the beginning that I think kind of threw Luxery off, but we'll see what happens this game.
I agree with you that I'd really like to see both these players go forward, and it's too bad, as is often the case in MSL and OSL, that only one player can advance. I kind of think that Luxery, I mean, he's been on the grind for a lot longer at time. I'd like to see him advance almost a little more. Leta is still a newbie, and although a lot of people think it's going to be kind of his royal road or whatever, you know, if he has to see another day, he has to see another day. But I mean, he certainly can be happy with the way he's played. We do have Leta spawning up at the top right and Luxery down at the bottom right. I wanted to mention real quick just about the build order. In the first game, Luxery chose to do a 12 pool, or I'm sorry, 12 hatch, and I think it would benefit him here more to do a 9 pool, even though it's it's a 4-player map. We saw in the first game, basically Leta chose to go for 2-port race and went straight to tech, and Luxery was just way too far behind because he had already had 3 hatcheries up and he was just macroing up, and it was the exact opposite of what he needed to have to even have a chance of countering what Leta had, whether it was race or just any tech. He was just way far behind, and then Leta was just able to turtle up after just successfully harassing so much with his race and causing Luxery to be stuck in his base. Leta was then able to turtle up and get that second base and was just far ahead from the get-go. So I really think that a 9 pull would be more advantageous for Luxery here, especially now that they're not cross positions. Obviously, he doesn't know they're not cross positions, but it looks like he's about to send his drone scout out to find out. But even if they're close like this, if Luxery can get those early Zerglings out, not only can he get an early scout and get in there and harass Leta, the critical thing in Game 1, too, is I don't think Luxery really scouted Leta very much. I think it really behooved him here just to get a Zergling or 2 inside the main base of Leta and really make sure he's scouting the whole way through so he knows what Leta's doing, so Leta can't do anything tricky.
Yeah, and it does look like Luxery is going to scout, unfortunately, in the wrong direction, although he's scouting in the right direction with his Overlord. So I think both of these players are probably going to see themselves about the same. Well, actually, no, I don't know. We don't know which way Leta is going to scout at the beginning, but Luxery is certainly going to find where he is very quickly. Luxery is going for, I'm assuming that was like a 12 hatch, although I can't see Luxery's base to see exactly what he has. I haven't seen Leta. All right. Yep, looks like it was a 12 hatchery. Actually, wait. Is there a second Overlord? Yeah, there is. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm so confused with this. Anyways, and so we're going to see just a standard barracks going up right now for Leta. So I mean, nothing crazy at the moment. I wouldn't imagine these players doing anything crazy. This is Game 5, so, you're not going to cheese. Now, Leta is blocking his ramp there again, and this is the difference right here. In the last game, he was cross-positioned, he dropped the ramp, and he blocked the ramp, and Luxery didn't send any Overlords. He almost didn't even care. He just left the Overlords at the top left and top right of the map, never scouted Leta. Well, now that Leta's at the top right, Luxery is going to have an Overlord, and he is going to have a scout, and of course, scouting does make a huge difference in a game like this.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that the first game, that they were so far away that Luxery didn't get that free scout that Zergs usually do have. Looks like we have Command Center going up for Leta, so Leta going for a quick expand and then going to put up his second barracks here. But yeah, that's a really interesting point, that Luxery really had to fight to get that scout. And I've always felt this way, that Terran has just the easy scout because they have that contact station. I mean, they can just one click of the button and bam, they see exactly what you're doing, and that's such a nice advantage that Terrans have. But Zergs have to really fight for that. So yeah, we'll see if Luxery can get a couple Zerglings in that base later on. But for now, he is going to have that Overlord, at least to take a peek in there. Hopefully, he can get in there before those Marines fend him off. And that's going to be really big to know what Leta's doing. Also, we do have to note that Leta is now going for a more standard build. So it looks like he maybe had a couple of builds prepared on this map. I don't know if he really expected to make it to Game 5 or expected to have to go to a Game 5, but it looks like he is going back to his more standard build on this as opposed to that interesting starport build in the beginning.
I have a feeling that Luxery is trying to tech up here, and we may see some Mutalisks from Luxery, but possibly some Mutalisks actually used earlier in the game when they're more effective. We'll have to see what the timing is on that, but good job with the Sunken Colony trying to keep the scout out there. Well, we do see the Hydralisk Den going up, so possibly we could just see a try to go for a quick Hydralisk rush, but either way, the lair going up very quickly for Luxury, and we are going to, okay, there's the Spire right there, so I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, I could imagine possibly something like a combined attack. Of course, the attack last game worked so well with the Lurkers and the Mutalisks, so it could be that he is going to try to go for something similar here on this map, which I think could work fairly well, because, as we mentioned in the last map, there was that huge gap to defending your secondary, and there is the exact same thing on Neo Harmony. There's a giant gap, and then there's also the second entrance to the expansion. So I think that Luxury could be really successful if he manages to pull off some sort of Lurker rush with Mutalisks like last game, and we could kind of see a repeat.
Well, again, I think Luxury's just playing really safe here. I don't necessarily think he's trying to go for Lurkers just right now, but, I mean, he knows he has to get Lurkers eventually, so he does get that den down. He didn't necessarily need it, right then at that moment. Usually, you see Zerg players wait a little longer. They wait till their Spires